Welcome. I love you with all my heart. We are a spiritual family. Something has changed in me. The energies I've been feeling for the last year very strongly are still there. But separate from them, I feel something differently now. Something that was there all the time. But I focused on the energies. And that something different is now in the forefront. And it's the life force itself. The energies have gone into being a background. And what I sense more than anything else is my own presence, my own life. And that's the wrong way to put it. It's not my life. I don't possess it. I am life. I am life speaking to you as life. I'm not speaking as Ed or as a teacher. I'm speaking out of place of manifesting life continuously. I am life, and I'm speaking to life. And I speak, as I speak to you as life, I hope you can receive me as life. As that essence of your own manifest self. The life force, the sentience within you that is aware of me, of yourself, of others, is aware of the room around you, is aware of your thoughts, your feelings, is aware of the chair you're sitting in, or the cushion you're sitting on. Feel aware of your body. Feel your feet. Feel the tingling. Feel your ankles. Feel your shin from the ankle to the knee. Feel how it rests against the chair or the floor. Feel your upper legs. See if there's any energy moving in them. Feel how you can feel them. You may wonder, how is it that I can feel all this? The magic is you had nothing to do with it. The you who is the thinker and the doer have nothing to do with that which brings life to your legs. Now move your attention upwards into your sexual organ. Feel if they get aroused with your attention. Feel your buttocks. Feel your groin. Feel your lower stomach. Feel how when you breathe in, the lower stomach moves. Feel your breath expand your belly. Move upwards to the diaphragm, your diaphragm. And realize it's not your diaphragm. You don't possess it. You're aware of it. Become also aware that everybody else is simultaneously aware of their diaphragm moving up and down, and your stomach moving in and out. For each of us, the experience is similar, but not exactly the same. For we have different bodies, but we are the one life that lives in all of them. So the experience is more or less the same. The only difference is how filled our mind is with thoughts, judgments, thinking, calculating, worrying. Those distract us from the sensations of our body. If our attention is inside of our body, thoughts hardly touch us at all. But when our attention moves up into our brain area, thoughts have much more power, and you can't ignore them. But if you swim in the sensations that are your body, no higher than the heart, the mind is nothing much, just a noisemaker. And later on in your spiritual practice, you'll notice that the mind is always jumping about, thinking about things, maybe calculating things, maybe speculating things, imagining things, daydreaming. But you know, the content isn't very rich. It's kind of prosaic and mundane. What do you think about? All kinds of problems. What to have for supper. Whether your stomach is sour from the coffee this morning. whether your hemorrhoids are comfortable or not. Whether your back hurts. What your wife or husband said to you today. Whether you had an argument today. In other words, thoughts are kind of worthless. They don't help you in any way, most of our thoughts. You might say we're so used to our thoughts, they're a constant source of entertainment for us. Our thoughts entertain us. Or distract us from something that's important. Like a large feeling that's totally unwanted, that's intruding and forcing us in a corner because we don't want to feel it. A feeling of being alone. A feeling not being loved. A feeling of sadness. Or perhaps desperation. And the thinking mind allows you to focus on the thoughts and not drift into that area you consider dangerous, which are negative emotions. I said today to someone, a woman, I love you. And she said back, I don't know whether you love me or you want to possess me. And I answered back, love without a desire to possess is kind of useless. It's like walking down the street and seeing a diamond ring on the ground, picking it up, admiring it, maybe walking a few paces, looking at the ring, saying how beautiful it is, how great the mounting is. Now that I've seen it and experienced my desire for it, I throw it away. Let someone else see it and possess it. I have no need for a diamond ring. Of what value was that diamond ring to me, really? Love that's passionate, that's filled with lust and desire to possess. It's the kind of love that can bring you awake. Or isn't that desire to possess, that passion, when thwarted, causes the greatest jealousy? And is not jealousy itself an extremely powerful feeling that we don't like feeling, but we tend to feel anyway? And isn't jealousy one of the most horrendous feelings we can feel? perhaps second only to fear in terms of how it grips us. When we're jealous, we want to possess our beloved. This is extremely human. It's what keeps families together. It's what keeps people monogamous. It's what allows or creates a family with a mother and a father and children. The desire not to cheat. The desire to stay together. But what if we do cheat? Why do we cheat? Isn't the word itself cheat part of a system meant to imprison us into roles that are unsustainable? Is monogamy a sustainable point of view? Can you really be monogamous? Is that what you want? Or do you want to fuck every attractive person of the opposite or same sex that you run across? Do you feel that within you? The raising of desire in you for another person that is not yours to possess? I don't remember what commandment that is. Thou shalt not lust after thy neighbor's wife or husband. But we all do it. And isn't that feeling pleasurable? Isn't that feeling of wanting to have sex with another person pleasurable? And isn't the sex itself pleasurable? Especially if it's great sex with lots of passion, lots of love, lots of gentle touching, lots of kissing, lots of playing around, lots of laughing, and then the business of sex, where your attention turns to your genitals and the energy's aroused. And afterwards, the relaxation you feel throughout your whole body, the physical effort you made, the pleasure you felt, the bonding you felt, the love you felt, and afterwards, the disconnect, where you just relax into yourself. Isn't this what life wants? Isn't life programmed to procreate and to practice procreation? To create children, but in itself is an intrinsically wonderful act and feeling, sexual feelings. I wonder if VJ is turning blue now. Sexuality can be used to unify our entire being by getting us into our bodies and feeling our bodies. and feeling the pleasure our bodies can give to us. Feeling the pleasure our bodies can give to another spirit who has a body. Knowing that we're pleasing the spirit, not the body, by giving pleasure to that body so that spirit can feel it. And in feeling it, feel love for you. And you feel love for her or him. And in that sex act, to totally lose yourself to lust, to desire for completion in ejaculation and orgasm. Isn't this an orgasmic feeling? Something very close to God. Although the body may writhe and twist, it's the spirit that feels the orgasm. And this orgasm, in many ways, is very close to the feeling of the life force within. It's a natural expression of the life force. So, as life, I'm speaking to you. What is it that you want as life? Are you really interested in a 40-hour-a-week job? Are you interested in a place to stay, to live? Are you interested in having a nice kitchen to prepare good meals? Or as life, aren't you more interested in being with another person, having sex, loving another person, worshiping another person, bowing down to the spirit in that other person, and then realizing it in yourself? When you feel free to be sexual, you're just around the corner from accepting the feelings of your entire body, even if they're painful. Because life loves to feel, and its instrument for feeling is your body. You, as an individual, have one body. I, as life, have everybody. But in this body, I want what everybody else wants. To feel my own life. To express my own life. To guard my own life. And to guard the lives of those I love. And to have pleasure in loving those I love. Because it is in such relationships we can find the deepest pleasure. The pleasure of being loved. Pleasure of feeling love for someone else. Feeling their bodies. Feeling their breath against ours. Feeling grabbed and possessed by lust and by love. And feeling possessed by them. Being held tightly for a few minutes or a few seconds, and then released with total relaxation. The effort of possession is strong. It can wear you out. But the completion of love, either in marriage or in random sexual acts with random people, ends in a release from the desires of the life force. And in that moment of release, it just feels itself totally relaxed, totally satiated. And this is what spirituality brings to you. The ability to go from being possessed by desire and need to possess to the completion and then resting in yourself. It's a never changing equation. But most spiritual people will tell you that it's best not to have these desires and this need to possess, and instead to be desireless and to have a quiet mind. That's bullshit. That leads to boredom. That leads to a death or a quietude of the life force inside of you, which can gradually die off. And the person becomes so bored with life because nothing's happening, just waiting for something to happen to bring them back to life. I was caught in such a trap for 15 years until my beloved came to me and awakened me to being a human again, coming back to ordinary mind, coming back to things that make us human, like love, sexuality, and just feeling pleasure from another, having them serve us tea, have them cook for us, or we do the same for them. Little acts of kindness, little acts of love, which I'll say to them, I love you. I love you still. I want you. Therefore, I take care of you. That's why I have sex with you, to bond you ever more closely to me, my life to your life to my life. And the sex creates a bigger and stronger bond. And then we're ready to have a family. The bond is strong, we know it. The other person is not going to easily leave. And then the family comes, and the bond is even stronger. And now instead of 2 units, there are 3 or 4 or 5. And this family gets very chaotic, very noisy, and therefore the bonds have to be very strong to keep it together, with crying babies and bills, buying clothes, keeping up with their sports, keeping up with their relationships, their friends, what's happening in school. It ties us all together into a little knot, which makes us crazy sometimes. And the bond between us has to be very strong in order to tolerate that. And sexuality is part of that binding process. So I'm very keen when teaching to have people become aware of their sexuality and feeling sexual desire, feeling physical arousal, feeling the desire for sex in random people, to just let the desires come up and feel them. You don't have to act them out at all, but to feel them, to be able to feel them. Because when you repress them, you become more and more dead. to what's possible to the body. You get bored because you don't feel your body. You're cut off from your body. Real spirituality, not the fake kind that wants you to transcend the body, but the real kind where you want to live your life with passion every moment of the day. That is something being a human allows you to do. But it also allows you to go to the next step, which is to realize the life force itself within you, the one who desires, the one who thinks, the one who wants, the one who feels and sees and hears, who has no form, because it's life itself. It's everywhere. It's spread within your body. It's spread between bodies. It's immanent in the air, the germs in the air. It's all over. And yet we don't feel the life in other places, except our beloved. Very quickly, very easily, very readily, we feel the life force in our beloved. That's what love is all about. It's loving not only to create a family, the binding necessary to have a family and monogamous relationships, but it's necessary to find God within as the life force. The more pleasure we feel, the less we think, the less we judge, the less we speak, the less we talk about television or politics, and instead feel inside our spirit within the body and feel what the spirit feels. Everything. Hunger, being too full, being high, being hungover, feeling the life force delightfully like I'm feeling it now, lightly resting within me, speaking the truth, that we all desire certain things in common. And that satisfaction of those desires is not to be avoided, because our body needs to have the stimulation so that the soul, our spirit, can feel these things that will bring it alive, that can feel the devotion to the other, that can surrender your life to the other, to love so deeply that you'd be willing to die for the other. And in that surrender, be able to find God as your own self, as your own life force. But the key to this is to get away from the abstractions of the absolute or of the unborn or the noumenal, the non-manifest, and fully embrace the manifest. Fully embrace your body. Fully embrace your lust and your passions. Live fully. The Zorba, the Greek, dancing, feeling his own body, feeling the lust for a woman, feeling a woman's lust for him, even in a glance of their eyes meeting on the floor, and what that causes in us, how we feel that, and what we do about it. We run away because we're afraid of intimacy. Or do we rush towards each other passionately and embrace each other? Today's been different. I haven't talked about energies. The energies are there fully, but I realize the energies are there to show me the way to embrace fully the life force every moment of the day. The energies are like an advertisement of the life force to get you to attend to it, to yourself as life. I am come alive. That's what the life force wants to say. I have come alive. I am alive. I am life. And for that, I must become fully human. Embrace my humanhood. Embrace my desires. Embrace fulfilling my fantasies. And then when they're released, there's total rest in life itself. So time after time, after sating our desires, or even thinking about sating our aids and desires, we feel relaxed into the self. If you do this often enough, allow yourself to fully feel your desire. Whether you act on it or not, it's not necessary to make that distinction. You don't have to have sex with every woman or man you see. But you fully have to embrace that you desire to have it and feel what that desire is like and any fantasies you may have. And gradually, the energies increase inside of you, circulate inside of you. You can feel your sense of presence, the body within the body. And then even notice that within that sense of presence is the spirit. The spirit that is the self-manifestation of life. It's how the self perceives itself as life force, as spirit. Sometimes I would use the term spirit because it's different from the life force. The life force sounds like an entity. And when I use the term spirit, it doesn't sound like an entity so much as something spiritual, something that is above the body, something that is outside of the body, below the body, whatever, that has nothing to do with the body. Knowing this is what Ramana felt as release from the fear of death, because he saw that the body died and he presumed that the spirit lived on, even though the spirit didn't live on in his body. Where did it go? To him, it just dissolved into the universal. He let go and relaxed into the universal consciousness, life force. They're different aspects of each other. Consciousness is an aspect of awareness or sentience. They arises out of the body, out of the materials that make the body. When the body dies, there's no more sentience at that location, but that sentience is everywhere else. And you might even say that the sentience that was that in that body melts into the universal and passes on its knowledge and experiences to the universal, but that's all speculation. To feel a fear of death is natural. To feel it all the time and to fear death all the time is also natural for many people. Many people who have lost somebody close or fear losing somebody close. And that fear is natural. And that fear enhances our beingness. The loss and grief we feel when somebody dies also enhances our life. Embrace everything that comes to you through your body, through your family, through your life. Does anybody have any questions?